Allegiance to the flag
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Okay, Commissioner Dominic is excused. Commissioner Shermack?
Yes.
Mrs. Sacco was excused. Mrs. Gatto?
Here.
Mayor Chelik?
Present.
And Mr. Tobin?
Present.
Right. Do we have anything from the public today?
No, the public had until 9 o'clock this morning to send anything in, and I did not receive anything.
All right. Everybody have a chance to look at the minutes from last meeting. If can have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
On the question, all in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, presentation of vouchers.
Yeah, we only had the two for since the last meeting, and that was the 6 repository deeds were recorded at a cost of $117. And our legal services for attorney Joseph Kobasani for $1,500.
Okay, do I need to make an approval on that, or do I need a motion, or?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Okay.
I'll second.
On the question, all in favor? Aye.
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 Right. Bid openings, do we have, I know we have one here.
Yeah, we do. This is for a property at 524 3rd Avenue where we received 2 applications, and the applicants were told to send in sealed bids. It will be open today, and with me here today is Jermaine Hilkoski from the County Controller's Office to witness our bid opening today.
Okay. Hello.
You want to do the honors?
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. You can tell that, I can see that there. Okay, this first one here is from James and Lisa Mangan, and their offer is $5,500 for this side lot. Okay. This next one is for another adjacent property owner, Joanne Morales and Dwayne Barnett, and their offer is $4,050 for this side lot. Now, what we'll do now is I will scan all of this information, the bids, along with all the other documents that we received for this property. I'm going to send it to our solicitor and to the board for further review. So there'll be no real decisions until all the paperwork is received by the board and reviewed. Is that okay?
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. Okay, Jermaine.
So long, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Well, we're up to discussion items.
Okay. Under discussion items, the first one is the land bank property disposition update. To date, the land bank has conveyed 290 properties countywide. Naturally, most of them have been in the city of Scranton because they do have the most tax delinquent properties. And in the city, we have conveyed 214 properties with 4 properties pending and 8 properties that will be acted upon at today's meeting. Just breaking that down, in West Scranton, there is 69 properties conveyed, South Scranton 58, North Scranton 45, Green Ridge 21, and East Scranton 10. In the city of Scranton, 10 3 properties have been conveyed to the city. United Neighborhood Community Development Corporation, 3 properties conveyed. Scranton Lackawanna Resource Development Corporation, 5 properties conveyed. Ronald McDonald House, 1 property conveyed. In Covington, 46 properties conveyed with 2 pending and 1 to be acted upon at today's meeting. Carbondale, 15 properties conveyed. In Vandling, 1 property conveyed. Feld Township, 1 property conveyed with 2 properties to be acted upon in today's meeting. Troop Borough, 1 property conveyed. Scott Township, 4 properties conveyed with 1 property pending. Thornhurst Township, 3 properties conveyed and 1 property to be acted upon at today's meeting. Jefferson Township, 1 property conveyed. Dunmore, 2 properties conveyed. And Archibald Borough, 1 property conveyed. Anybody have any questions on anything as far as the disposition update?
Looks like we're gonna reach a milestone very shortly of 300
Yes.
properties.
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah.
No, I have no questions. Anybody else? Nobody? All right. We'll move on to number 8.
Okay. Well, we're going to do property, the blight
Task Force update.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yep.
Nope.
Sorry.
That's all right. Jesse couldn't attend this meeting, but we did discuss a little bit at the last meeting. Again, NeighborWorks has been a tremendous help in cleaning up some of these properties. So, especially some of the more visible properties. And again, we thank them for their work there. And I know I just saw an article in the city, in the paper about the city also hiring some people to take care of both city-owned properties and land bank-owned properties. So I guess we'll see where that goes from here. But other than that, that's all we have as far as the Blight Task Force update.
Okay. All right. And the request, the conveyance request, letter C.
Okay, and this has just been we received a request from attorney Ernest Spasto regarding a property that we sold up on Ridge Avenue to a husband and wife, but now they are in the process of, well, I guess they did already divorce, and they want to convey the property to just the wife. So it's really just a transfer like that. So as far as the wife selling the property, it'd be just the same as it was in the past. That she has to retain that property for 5 years from the date that it was originally purchased from the land bank.
Okay.
I don't know if is Joe on the line.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know if you wanted to add anything to that.
No, I did that. This doesn't violate any of our policies. It's merely a part of a divorce settlement, so it's not really leaving the same household that it's been in. It's just one of the members of the household's leaving.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yep.
And Attorney Spasto was up front with us about what was going on. I talked to him. This is in accordance with our policies and procedures.
Okay. I have no problem.
And it's debatable whether they even needed permission, if you want to get into an academic argument, but they were good enough to let us know. So,
do we need a motion for this?
Yeah, we should.
Yep. Well, would someone like to make a motion?
So I'll move that we approve the conveyance request of the former land property at 909 Ridge Avenue, Scranton.
Okay. And second?
I'll second.
Okay. On the question? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right. D, cancellation request.
Okay. this property up at Eagle Lake, we received an application from the person in this email that I had sent earlier. We went through the whole process with this. He signed the agreement of sale. The process was really completed. I sent him the deed just to verify the precise address, which really sometimes really isn't necessary, of where the tax bills would go. So I always attach like a little map of the location of the property, but apparently when he looked at it, he said that this isn't the property that I was interested in, that I thought I was buying. So he didn't send the deed back, which really I don't think it's really necessary that he send the deed back. We can still move ahead with this, but I maybe Joe can elaborate a little further on this.
All right, let me intervene. I don't know. We're having a nice run up at Eagle Lake with these situations. This is something different too, but apparently this guy never looked at the lot that he he never went up there. He sent his sister to look at it, and they're alleging that something with the I guess they have numbers or whatever. They have these designations at the different lots, and he's apparently blaming his sister that she picked the wrong lot or whatever. But he never went up to look at it, never did any due diligence. And it brought me back to my first year contracts in law school days almost. But this was a unilateral mistake made by him. We had nothing to do with it. We didn't mislead them, or we didn't contribute to the mistake, and we would have to know or should have known that there was a mistake. Now, how would we know until at the tail end of this whole thing he says, "Oh, that's the wrong lot," Okay. So,
Well, is there another lot that he wants to purchase, or is he just?
Well, the thing is that we took this lot in. We took it off the repository already.
Mm-hmm.
So we're stuck with it now. And apparently it's got a lot of tree. Ralph, does it have a lot of trees on it, or?
Well, apparently I didn't go up to really actually look at it, but it may need a lot of work, and we may be stuck with it for a while.
Well,
So,
only if we approve to cancel the his
right.
request. So what's the board's thoughts on the cancellation?
No,
Well, first of all, we have spent money in transferring this property. And they're asking for full repayment. If we're going to cancel it, we're going to get stuck with a property. We should at least subtract what it cost us to go through this process, because
Absolutely.
we're not at fault here.
Absolutely.
No, we're not at fault, Mayor. I'm confident we're not. If it's like when you go to buy a car and you want to buy, you're buying a car online, you don't go drive it, you don't go look at it, and then it comes back and it's not what you thought you bought. Well, that's, buyer beware.
I personally
This guy-
think we should not cancel it. He signed a contract. He had every right to do his due diligence. He chose not to. We took it in for him to purchase, and I don't think we should be responsible for it now.
And what was the purchase price?
Well, he sent a purchase price of $1,500 in.
Okay.
That was his bid.
And I think, Ralph, was it you and Joe that sent out the application with the yellow highlighted areas?
Yeah.
About,
Yep.
and it says no refunds will be made after the property is acquired by the land bank from the tax claim bureau on your behalf. our application directions are clear on this.
I'm not sure if it was on there. I'd have to look when we sent that one out, because I did make some updates recently.
Yeah, we just made those changes recently, but in any event, we, based on the doctrine of unilateral mistake, and we had nothing to do with the mistake. We didn't contribute to it.
Oh.
I mean, I think he's bound by the contract. Now, whether you guys want to take the middle road and say, okay, we'll rescind we won't consummate the transfer, but we're keeping the payment as liquidated damages for our expenses.
But again, I don't know if the land bank owns a property at Eagle Lake, are we subject to like association fees now or anything like that? I don't know,
Well,
he right now he owns the property.
Well, the deed isn't recorded yet. Okay. But
the deed was tendered, but it's not recorded yet.
Marion, that would be just like saying you're ready to go to a closing, right? And the guy sits down and says, "That's not the house I was going to buy," right? I thought I was buying.
So
I have to defer to our counsel on this one. I'm not inclined to refund the money and cancel and cancel this. But it all depends on what happens after. So Joe, what are your thoughts?
Well, the other issue too, I think maybe Ralph, if you could reach out to the association and see what their policy is, if they're going to stick us with association fees and any of their expenses, that'd give us more reason to keep the down payment, and two, to record the damn deed.
Yeah.
So you don't have to make a final decision today. I mean,
okay.
All right, well then what we'll do is we'll table this for now until we get some more information, and we can revisit it at our next meeting.
yeah, I'm inclined to not be sympathetic to this guy. You mean you buy a piece of property, you don't even go look at it?
Yeah. Well, it's up to the board what we'd like to do.
I move
Yeah.
we table the issue until we further investigate the situations in the township.
Okay.
Okay, and that's what we're gonna do. So
There's a motion, needs a second, Commissioner.
yep, we need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, on the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And I'll do a little while Ralph is contacting the township up there about what would happen vis-a-vis us if we are stuck with the property as far as fees and the dues and all that stuff.
Right. Well, we don't want.
I'll do a little more research on a unilateral mistake.
Okay.
And see what I come up with. But it seems like the law's on our side, but sometimes the courts, for equitable purposes, could reform the contract. But
Yeah.
The law seems on our side because we didn't contribute to the mistake. We didn't mislead this man,
And we don't want to be stuck with it and then have to pay monthly or HOA dues or anything like that.
Right. Then we don't know if they tell us we're exempt from that in writing, then that could make our decision a little different. But
right.
I think we should know all this before we make a final decision.
I agree. All right, well, we'll wait and see.
Okay.
All right, E, Fell Township.
Okay, yeah, there's an old schoolhouse up in Fell Township that we took in, back in 2019 at the request of the Fell Township supervisors, with the idea of tearing it down as soon as possible. At that time, the land bank had committed $20,000 towards that demolition, but when they went out to seek bids, it was just too much for the township to do at that time with all the asbestos removal and that type of thing. So it kind of got pushed on the back burner until recently, when we were approached again. So Brenda and I sat down with this Andy Gorel, with one of the supervisors up there, and we felt that we would assist in this demolition at this point by contributing to $25,000 towards the demolition, and letting them handle like the bids and anything else. And as far as the bids, and also whatever the demolition costs over and above the 25,000 that we are giving them. After demolition of the structure, we will convey the property to the township for $1. And then when they sell it to a private interest, anything over and above what their demolition cost was, what they had to contribute, will come back to the land bank. I doubt very much that we would get anything, because I don't know how much the property would be worth and how much the demolition is eventually going to cost. But for a period of 5 years after the conveyance, the land bank would get half the taxes on that property when it is conveyed to a private interest.
Mm-hmm.
So this is out there for the board's consideration to enter into. And again, this is all contingent upon Fell Township supervisors also approving this.
Right.
Too. Okay.
And we have the funds to do this.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay. In a second.
Second,
Okay. Any on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, that's that. The advisory committee.
Okay. Before the meeting, we went over all these properties on your property discussion papers there, as far as what parcels that the board will be acting on today. And the first one on top is a property in Covington Township at WD 315 Cherry Drive. And the property application was received from Jenny Torres from Lyndhurst, New Jersey. And again, this is at Eagle Lake, so she plans to use the property for recreation and green space. And she submitted an offer of $500 for the property.
Okay.
The next one is in Thornhurst. From Raymond Perrins, who owns an adjacent property, and him and his wife want to just extend their yard and maybe eventually have that property for their children to build on in the future. And Mr. Perrin submitted an offer of $500 for the property. The next two properties are in Fell Township, one at 53 Shannon Street. Mr. Anwar Khan of Monmouth Junction, New Jersey, is in the process of purchasing a larger property to the rear, and wants to acquire this property for access to the rear property. He submitted an offer of $500 for the property. Next one is at Tuttle Street, parcel number, PIN number 03515040022, and received an application from Evan and Monica Steyer, who reside across from this lot on 12 Tuttle Street, and they just want to use this property as green space and possible additional street parking. They submitted an offer of $500 for that property. In Scranton, property of 1861 Bloom Avenue. Received an application from Linda and Samuel Robbins. They reside next door to the property. As I stated in here, that the property has since been raised, and they just want to add to their property next door, and they submitted an offer of $500 for the property. Next one is at 536 Orchard Street. Purchase application received from Gerard and Carol Smurl of 300 Prospect Avenue. Mr. and Mrs. Smurl want to build a garage for storage on this property, and they do understand the use required zoning approval, and I believe they are on the list for the next meeting for the Scranton Zoning Board. But no matter if it's approved or not, he still would like to keep it since he owns several properties in the neighborhood and wants to keep this to keep it up for green space and or the garage if approved. And Mr. and Mrs. Smurl, they submitted an offer of $500 for the property. The next one there's a typographical error on the address. It's actually 439, 441 10th Avenue. And this is a land bank property that we've had in our inventory, since the beginning. And we received an application from Miss Carmen Candelario from Ripple Street in Scranton. And she eventually would like to build a home on this property. And she submitted an offer of $500 for the property. The next one consists of two separate properties. Received an application from Jenna O'Malley and Corey Walsh, who recently purchased that property that you see there adjacent to this, and they just want to extend their yard. And these two properties, I think, have been in the repository for probably 10 years. So to get them back on the tax rolls, would be great. And they submitted an offer of $500 for the larger property and $150 for the smaller one. And there are no additional applications for these properties. Next one is at 2618 North Main Avenue. Again, the structure shown in this aerial picture has been demolished, and received an application from a next door neighbor, Stephen O'Malley, at 2016 North Main Avenue. And this would be a side lot. And Mr. O'Malley submitted an offer of $150 for the property. The next one is another one at 728 Theodore Street. Received a side lot application from Alice and Robert Lance, who also reside next door. The building shown in the overall aerial view has also been demolished, and they submitted an offer of $150 for that property. The next one is the one that we just had the bid opening for, and it's at 524 3rd Avenue. And the two, as I stated earlier, the two bids we received from James and Lisa Lang, and from Joanna Morales and Dwayne Barnett. And as I stated earlier, I'll be sending all the documents out to the board for their final review. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on anything?
I don't. Nope, I don't.
Okay, I guess, do we want to move ahead now with
Sure.
resolutions?
Yep, we'll go to resolution number 23-030.
Okay, and this would be approving the acquisition. This would be approving the acquisitions of the properties that I just named, except the property on 10th Avenue, which is already owned by the land bank. Do you want me to go through every one of these?
No,
No,
Pardon?
and then with the exclusion of that last property, right? With the bid.
We are taking that property in, Commissioner, because
Okay,
we'll have that already done. So when the final decision is made, we can just get the necessary documents out to them for the conveyance.
Okay,
Okay,
well, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion
I'll
to
make-
approve.
I'll second.
The question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
okay. Resolution number 23-031.
okay, again, this is the properties that I went over and I named the, who they would be, who would be purchasing these properties. Again, I had a typographical error on that 10th Avenue one. It's actually 439, 441 10th Avenue, so I'll make that correction on the resolution.
Okay. All right, would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
On the question? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay,
Resolution
the
number,
next one is the resolution authorizing conveyance of the land bank owned property under the side lot program. And there's the three properties that are on this resolution that I already talked about with previously.
okay, can I have a motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
On the question? All in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, that has that. Anything from the public?
Now, again, the public had until 9 o'clock this morning to send anything in, and I did not receive anything.
Okay, thank you. Any other directors' comments or concerns? Nothing? All right, our next meeting is Wednesday, October 11th, scheduled for 11 a.m. How about a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, any questions?
Thank
All in
you.
favor? Aye,
Thank you, everyone.
everybody.
Have a good day.
Thank
Alright.
you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.